Let's get started. Well, thank you very much for joining me today, Theresa. I just want to do some quick introductions. I know that you know me, but my name is Tkach, and I'm the admin and creator of the Rosemont Mount Royal community group. And the idea behind kind of having these conversations is to get to know the businesses and the folks that have been involved in our community for a long period of time. And just with your long history, not only just within the community, but within the boards and even business in general, I think that you're a great person to kind of start this conversation with and get to know a little bit more about our area and the businesses that help support us. So to begin, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, first, thanks, Alex, for having me. I appreciate you selecting me to be first. It's always fun to talk about our community and, of course, what we do in general. As you mentioned, my name is Theresa McQuoid. I am the owner of Hanger and Rack Curated Consignment here in Regina. I also am a longtime resident of the Rosemont Mount Royal communities. And I am the chair of the Rosemont Mount Royal Community Association right now, so involved in many levels of our local government, if you will, of our community.
For sure. Well, thank you very much. So I like to start with a little bit of icebreakers. That way people can kind of informally get to know you a little bit, and not so much the community Theresa or the business Theresa, but the Theresa that we don't always get a chance or an opportunity to get to know. So the idea behind these first volley of questions is just sort of an either or to paint a little bit of a picture of maybe what your preferences are. Secretly, maybe it'll give me some ideas for some future Christmas presents. You never know. So, salty or sweet?
Salty.
Salty. Hot weather or cold?
Hot weather.
Do you prefer to fly or drive?
I like both, but I prefer to fly because it takes me to exciting new places.
For sure. Urban or rural vacations?
I like both. Probably urban is where most of my travel has been to.
So to get started with the question and answer side of things, again, just a couple fun things to kind of have a little bit of a conversation starter, and then we'll get right into learning a little bit more about your thoughts on the community itself. So basically, fill in the blank is how this is going to work. So my favorite sports team is?
I don't have one.
Hey, and that's
Sorry, I'm not a sports person.
Hey, totally. That's totally understandable. Your favorite food is?
Pierogies.
Okay. So I'm guessing you're a little bit of a Ukrainian then?
I am, yes.
Just a smidgen? Yeah.
Just a smidge.
And your favorite flavor of chip is?
Oh, Old Dutch Ripple all day long.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. So the thing I like most about Regina is?
That I can get anywhere in this city in 9.5 minutes.
Oh, I agree. That is a big one on my list too as well. I've always referred to Regina as, that little big town that, everybody knows everybody. It doesn't take forever to get somewhere. I mean, some places are getting a little more difficult than others, but I would definitely take this over an hour-and-a-half commute in, say, Calgary or something to that effect for sure.
I also enjoy the small town aspect of Regina. There is a sense of community everywhere in the city. So.
Absolutely. So what is one word that can best describe Rosemont Mount Royal in your mind?
Community.
Community?
I think that's the one word that I would use to describe our community. And by that, I mean that it is warm and caring and a sharing space too.
For sure. Absolutely. So how many years have you been in the neighborhood?
Well, without dating myself, I have attended Mabel Brown School. I attended Martin Collegiate. And of course, I make my home in Rosemont. So it is many years. I'm going to say 40 something. Wow, I've been in the community. Yeah.
For sure. That's a long time to watch a community grow. Absolutely. Yeah. So name one thing that used to be part of our community but is no longer here. And to kind of put this in perspective, I'm not looking to kind of, what things have been taken away from us, but over time communities change, they develop. There's residents that I've talked to that, they remember when this area used to be the edge of the city, and, there's schools that are no longer here, like you said, Mabel Brown, you kind of mentioned. So, it doesn't have to be, sad stuff. Areas change, but with you having that history here, I think you're in a great position to let us know, folks like myself, that's really only been here for a decade, what's not here anymore that we didn't even know about.
We used to have a gas station at our shopping plaza, which was very helpful. There was a mechanic that was there. I miss those types of things because it was, again, a neighborhood support system, right? And of course, times have changed, as you mentioned, so those things do go by the wayside. But we had 2 fully operational garages in Rosemont that are no longer there. We had a number of convenience stores, which were sort of the heart of your little neighborhood, if you will, and those are missing now. But of course, again, things change. So we still have great amenities in the Plaza area, and we have other services in the community that benefit us today. But those things were always fun. Great memory as a kid and as a teenager. So I do miss those things.
For sure. So speaking of memories, what is your fondest memory living here?
I think one of my fondest memories, and this, I don't know if this is good or bad, but we used to spend a lot of time at A.E. Wilson Park. We took a lot of our school gym activities were at the creek. We learned to canoe there and spend time in that area. So those were fond memories because, of course, you left school and you went to those areas and you hung out. So it was a sort of a big deal. And just, of course, I think being able to walk everywhere, if you will. It was a very safe community, and kids walked to the convenience stores. We walked to different parks and play areas. So that I miss that.
For sure, absolutely, and I would hazard to say that's something I think has changed, citywide. Even myself, I remember getting on my bike Saturday morning at the tender age of 6 or 7 and zipping around when my mom was doing things at home, and I not to sound like a helicopter parent, but I don't know what my appetite would be for letting my 5 or 7-year-old ride bikes without me knowing exactly where they are in today's day and age. So for sure.
And that's, I guess it's just a sign of times, but those things were, it created a great sense of independence, and you had friends everywhere, right? So it was sort of, you didn't feel like you were too far outside your area, if that makes sense. But we used to ride our bike to the Regent Park swimming pool, which was a big undertaking. If you live in Mount Royal, many busy streets, we were crossed, but you don't see that anymore. And I think just that security or that safety in your community, like you said, it's realized everywhere in the city. It's just not the same as it was. But those are memories, and that's okay. Our kids have memories now too.
Sure.
So.
Exactly. Okay, well, that kind of wraps up the Q&A portion as far as the community is concerned. So the main reason I brought you here today is because I wanted to find a way to kind of bring businesses into the community group and offer an ability for you to kind of showcase what you do from a business perspective. So what is Hanger and Rack, and tell us about your business.
So Hanger and Rack Curated Consignment is currently a ladies' consignment store. So we showcase clothing. We are fairly specific on the quality of products that we carry in the store, and we believe that every woman should be able to dress how she'd like to dress for a price point that she's happy to spend. And we think that your clothes deserve a second chance too. So we're trying in our own way to recycle some of those items that are in your closet, give them a second chance, and free up some space for you and some money, because you're consigning your clothes with us, so you do receive some money when those items sell. So Hanger and Rack is just about to celebrate its second birthday. So we're excited about that. We've had a different year, of course, like every business has, and we've been reinventing ourselves, if you will, all year long. So stay tuned. There's great things coming from Hanger and Rack, and we're excited to work with the women of Regina.
That's awesome. So where are you located if anybody was going to look for your store?
Sure, we're in the warehouse district, so we're on Dudney Avenue, just a block and a half in from Albert Street, so it's 2410 Dudney Avenue. And we have great neighbors in this mall, like Blue Core Barbers and Dawn's Photo, Aoni and Day Spa, so there's quite a few amenities in this little mall.
Yeah, absolutely. So how can the community come together to better support you? I know that's a tough question because every entrepreneur, they go at this for something they want to build themselves, right? And I recognize that ladies' consignment and clothing isn't going to be for everybody, but I do think there's always ways for us to kind of think outside the box and lend that support where it makes sense to lend that support.
You know, it's a good question, Alex. I don't know that I've thought about that in too much detail. Of course, you know, we like people to support local on anything that you shop in. Right now, especially, people need the support, and people who you know, go down the road of opening up their business, they're doing it with a passion that you don't necessarily see from large box stores, and they're also doing it because they're investing in their community. So, you know, all I can say is support local as much as you can. Support the Rosemont Shopping Plaza. Support businesses in our community. Support businesses in the city, and it becomes vibrant. And of course, it gets stronger. Yeah. Stronger when you have a good business base, and that's really what I would ask is people to support the businesses in the city that are independently owned.
Absolutely. And so those are really great points, Theresa. Thank you. So finally, any last thoughts or messages that you have for our community before we wrap everything up?
You know, get behind your community. Your community works hard. You know, every day we're always thinking of things that would benefit the community and the people of the community. You know, the easiest way to do that, of course, is to buy a $5 membership. It helps us bring things to those in our area and bring new and exciting programs and events. Someday we will be able to have events again. But, you know, get behind it. We always want to hear from people. It's your community. You know, what do you want to see? What do you want to maybe participate in? You know, the community is only as good as the people. So the better participation that you can lend, that just benefits Rosemont and Mount Royal.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I very much appreciate you taking the time to have this quick little interview and showcasing what you're all about. So have yourself a wonderful day and take care of yourself.
Thank you, Alex. You too.